Hey, what's up, everyone? So we did something a little bit different. As you may have heard on the last episode, had a hard drive crash, so we lost an episode. And this one, we had 2 weeks to catch up on, which meant the episode went really long. It was like almost 2 hours. And so we decided to cut it up. So the last episode you guys hopefully already watched. If not, go ahead, go check it out. You saw us kind of just do our weekly catch up and talk about a few things. And then we segued into the contests and talking about, showing our photos and choosing them. And so that's what you're going to see in this episode. So we just want to give you a little bit of an intro. And then in just a minute, we'll cut right into that.
Enjoy, everyone.
All right, cool. So yeah, let's talk about contests. So what Brad and I are going to do is we'll get started. We're going to go through each one of our submissions for Bird Photographer of the Year. And we'll start with me here. But before we get into talking about or showing all the photos that we submitted, each of us, and talking about why we submitted some of them, and we're actually going to do a fun thing where Brad's going to judge mine and pick out what he would choose, and then we'll reverse it and I'll pick out some of his. So we kind of stumbled into that on our first recording of this episode and realized how fun it was for us to do.
Yeah, you thought
and
of
so
it.
I think it'll be a fun thing to continue doing. But in any case, let's talk a little bit about just a couple of points with submitting to photo contests. And, what about one of the questions I think that comes up a lot is, should you share your photos on social media that you're going to enter into a contest? And I know you have some thoughts on that, Brad.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth with people on this, and I've heard other people's opinions on it. Just from experience, I guess, and how I've done things and it worked out, I'm the believer that it doesn't matter. But I will preface that I think the only time when it potentially would is if you shared an image literally that week before the judging was going to happen of the contest. And it was one of those images that was a real standout image, it kind of goes viral a bit. It's pushed around everywhere, shared everywhere, and could potentially hit the judges and they get to see it in that manner. But I think leading up to and before a contest, to actually share it out there, I don't know that it makes a difference. To me, I've always been a firm believer, if it's a killer image, it's got all the elements. If it's a standout image, whether they've seen it before or not, they're not going to me, they're not going to look at it and go, nah, seen it, delete. There's no way. If it's an incredible image, I'm talking about enough to get recognized as in one of the categories, first, second, third place, something like that, to actually get a recognition thing. I don't see it matters. And I guess the reason I'm saying that is because I've had placement and I shared an image not far before the contest was actually being judged. I shared the actual image and then it actually got second place. Same with the cover for the book one year. Yeah. It was the same year. I had shared that image out there, that yellow warbler and the pink flowers. I mean, and that, for me, was viral, blew up a nice bit, got a lot of attention, was shared like crazy, spread around, still did very, very well. Yeah. So I just, I think, I don't know. I guess for me, it's so much fun when you've captured a special moment, you've experienced something great, to share it out there. You're still in that amazing moment. To then sit on it, not share it, so then slowly that excitement kind of fades a bit.
For sure.
You then share it into a contest, and then let's say it doesn't make it. Well, now all that kind of then is almost it taints the image a little bit more. You're oh, gee, maybe it wasn't as good as I thought. Yeah. To me, you've passed that whole threshold of oh, you were so excited about it. It was such a special moment. Just put it out there. And I think it doesn't, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, so I agree with you on that second part of it, because that's exactly what's happened for me by holding images back. Is you hold them back, you're really proud of them, happy, and then they don't go anywhere in the contest or they don't, place, right? Even if they make it to final round. And then it's far less exciting sharing it. The excitement has worn off. Absolutely. Yeah. I 100% agree with that. But I do disagree with you on the first part of it. What were you going to say?
No, I was gonna say, and now not only are you like not as motivated to post it, but now as you're posting in the back of your mind, you're just like, well, it didn't make the contest. You know what I mean? Now there's this
Yeah.
like this feeling attached to it because you were so excited, like, man, I'm holding on to this. This is like is gonna win me something, or it's gonna place. It doesn't. It just it takes down that.
It does take it down.
It has to take down. Oh, no, it does. Big time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've done it a bunch this past year. Yeah. So yeah, I can definitely recognize that feeling. But I do think just from my own experience of seeing photos, of like seeing it the first time, I mean, it's the same thing even when it's different photos, right? If it's like, oh, that's a cool new concept that somebody tried and then everybody loves it and they just start doing it and repeating it and sharing their versions of it. By the time I've seen the 15th one, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's not special anymore, you know? And when I see a photo that really wows me, that gets my attention, right? I'm not going to forget it. So if I were to see it again 8 months later, a year later even, I'm going to remember it and be like, oh yeah, wow, I really love it. But there's no way. There's just no way it's having the same impact as it did the first time I saw it. It just doesn't for me. And so I understand why it can have more impact. Go ahead.
No, but do you think that it's that much of an impact of seeing it again that it wouldn't, make you replace the image?
No,
I guess for just straight example, look at the winner of Bird Photographer of the Year this year. Everyone and their grandmother saw his image with the frigate bird and the eclipse. Like everybody saw it. He did interviews. He was in that just went viral.
Yeah,
he won.
Yeah,
like no judge was like, seen it.
I think there's photos that transcend that are just so
That's what I mean.
Strong and powerful. But if it's somewhere on the cusp of that, and that little extra motivation could get the judge over, I could see it. I mean, I'm going based on like my own feelings of seeing photos the second time. It just doesn't have as much impact the second time, flat out. Like there's a loss there. Absolutely. I don't know how. I'll be amazed if anybody doesn't have that loss. Now, does it make a difference in placing or not? That obviously I can't tell. Like if I think about it myself, no, I'd probably still move an image forward. But if I had an image, here's my take on it, Brad. I think it would still probably obviously make it to the final round. I don't think it would deter an image that I've already seen from getting to a final round or other judges have seen. But what I do think is like, what if those judges now in the final round are comparing images they've seen before versus something that's like, wow, they've never seen. And then it's maybe like, well, you're having more of a reaction or a connection to like, wow, I've never seen this before.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
this is fun. So I'm going to push back. So
yeah.
Okay, so when I think of a judging process, because I've done a couple, is like, okay, so when I sit down, I get the initial images. I'm like going through, okay, awesome. Oh, wow, look at that one. Da, 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 da. Put those aside. Okay, now we go to the second round, haul these back up. Now I've already seen that amazing frigate bird in the eclipse. Yeah. I'm going to see it multiple times before it reaches the final. So the initial reaction of seeing it, yes, makes it exciting. But that's only going to carry it through to that first initial cull of like the big cut in a contest. And then it's going to be an image you've seen, right? So to me, it's like, it's not like if you just had like, here's 10 images, who's the winner out of this? And it's the first time I'm seeing them. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like I've never seen that. Yeah. That's the one. Because I'm just going to go, oh, I've never seen that. That's amazing. Okay, that's going to the next round. I go back through it again, look at it. Like there's probably about 10 times I'm going to look at it. It's losing its oomph and its like excitement.
I get that.
As I'm going through because I'm seeing it multiple times my own self, right?
I get that, but I think I still would say if I'm trying to place myself in the scenario of being the judge, right? There's a difference between like the scenario where I've seen it, right? Like it's, yes, I've seen it again within the context of that contest, but it's still fresh within that. When I've seen it elsewhere on social media and it's been some time, there's this feeling of been there, done that. to me. You know what I mean? And that's really what I connect all of that like being less impressed with, is just because like there's some sort of, even if I didn't remember seeing that specific image, right? Even if I saw something similar to it in the past, whether it was that exact photo or like a version of that photo that maybe the photographer shared, maybe they shared one version then kept the other one for this, right? But if I had seen it before and now I'm like, it's coming back to me again, there's just a little bit of like, oh, I've seen that before. And then maybe I wonder even if there's a question of like, was it this photographer, or was that another photographer? And like, you know, is this just another version of something that somebody else has done? And I don't know. There's like a hit to it. There's a hit, you know. But you're absolutely right. They are seeing it multiple times, and I have to assume the same thing would happen to me. As you're going through that judging process, seeing those images again, each time there's probably going to be less impact, or I don't know, maybe you get to spend more time with it and appreciate it more. So I don't know, you know.
Very true. And I was going to say, I want to just go back to one thing you did mention where I think a scenario makes more sense to me to kind of hold off, which I never really kind of thought too much about, is if you feel like you've done something totally different, like you said, tried some like wacky new technique and, you know, like stumbled into something that you haven't seen much at all, if at all. And you're like, okay, if I share this, everyone's going to do it. Type of thing. There I can see, you know, the potential then to be like, okay, let's hold off. Let's wait, because this is going to ruin. I know everyone's going to jump on this idea, you know, because it might be simple to figure out or whatever the case may be. So there I can.
That's a good point.
I think it's, you know, I think it's definitely comes down to like, you know, personal preference. If you're really unsure and think that, you know, it's going to ruin your chances, that you think that if I don't share it's going to elevate it into it, then hold off. Like, there's no real harm. Like I said, I think the only detriment is like, if it's such a fun experience that you had, such a cool moment, you're going to lose that. It's going to, you know, it's just going to, you're going to be so far away from that experience by the time you can share it, if it goes through a contest process. And then if you don't place, then there's this little bit of negativity. I mean, unless you're somebody who just doesn't care and is not fazed by it, well, whatever.
No, I'm with you on that, man. I'm flat out with you on that. I do agree. Like, I would prefer to share it for sure. I think maybe it depends on what are your priorities, you know? Like, if your priority is to try and win and give yourself every advantage, well, then it can't be harmful to hold off on it, right? Like, maybe it gives you that extra little edge. The only harm would be in what we just described, I feel like, which is like your lost excitement. But if your goal is like, I want the best chance at a contest, well, that probably is going to be your best chance, right? It's going to give you potentially, I'm not saying it will, but potentially it can give you a little edge, with the trade-off meaning less excitement when you eventually do get to share that photo down the road, right? Because we can say, nobody's ever said, well, it's better to share it up front. Like, that's not a thing, right? So you might give yourself an advantage in a contest by holding off, or you might not, because you've proven it. Plenty of other people have proven it. You can still win the top level, even with a photo that has been shared, right? So it obviously isn't like absolutely better to hold it off on it. I think it really is probably just like down to, what do you care the most about? And is it going to bother you that when you share it down the road, it doesn't feel as good for you anymore? But I gotta say, it does suck. It does. I don't like doing it.
It does.
No, it does.
Like I said, for me, I don't think I've ever held off an image. I don't know that I've ever, like, I'm pretty sure I haven't. I've always posted, and, you know, like I said, if there's one that's, I think the only, like I said, if I literally, the week before I knew the contest was going to go through its judging and I had like an incredible thing, but I guess then I would have been just capturing it, so it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, with the timing of how you have to submit for them, it's always like many months in advance anyway. So
exactly.
You can't
so it wouldn't really make a difference.
Unless you shared another version of it right then. Like, if you held off and shared it right before the judging happened, that might be a mistake. But
that would be.
that's probably
exactly.
unlikely. Although maybe it's possible with me and my scheduling stuff.
Yeah, true.
So then the other part of this, before we start picking apart our photos, is sharing photos with your friends, you know, and getting feedback on them before you submit. And we had a little conversation about that the last time we recorded this, so we can rehash that now. You think I'm bitter about that? Maybe a little bit. I just keep bringing it up.
Just a little. Yeah, again, like I think it's a great. I think it can be a great process to go through to kind of get your friends to look at it if you're someone who's not easily swayed.
Yeah.
And I guess the reason I say that is because just like, you know, any judging competition, we've all seen images that are like head scratchers. We're not really sure. Everyone's got their own personal tastes and opinions. And, you know, even judges that judge a contest that, I don't know, I mean, this is just my personal thoughts, but you know, they say, okay, we're very like non-biased. It's like we're looking at the image as a whole and da-da-da.
Yeah.
Like you love small in frame. I like, you know, tighter stuff sometimes with really nice light. Like there's certain things that just you're just gravitating towards. It's just out of personal nature. So
of course.
So to not have that tie into how you're actually judging, I think that's
impossible.
I just think it seems impossible.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, like if you can take just their thoughts as just their thoughts, and you know, maybe just consider certain things, you know, I think it's okay. But if you're someone that like, oh, if one person says no, that image is no good, you're just gonna trash it, I think maybe steer clear, just go with your gut and post it. And you know, I think last time I mentioned there were a couple times when, you know, I shared with other friends and stuff, and, you know, they would say, oh, you're really going to post a puffin picture? Like last year, like the portfolio was all puffins. They won. Like maybe you should skip a year and steer clear of that. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. There's something with this image for me. I was super proud of it. Like it just felt a certain way. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm just going to go. And if it doesn't make it, doesn't make it. Yeah. And end up winning second place. So I was like, if I listened to the advice and I had gotten it from multiple people, which was fine. I understood. It kind of made sense to me. You know, a lot of times you'll hear, you know, I'll hear other people that actually run competitions like, oh, you know, we get so many balloons, we get so many puffins, like there's iconic species like kingfisher, like, you know, we see so many, it's hard to see one that's different. But I don't think that should deter you because, you might have that one image that for whatever reason stands out different to them, because they are iconic birds and they do grab attention. And, you know, I don't think it should stop you from sharing them. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I very much agree with you. And I think, again, if you're really trying to better your chances, the more feedback you get, the more likely that is to coincide or be similar to what another group of judges might think or feel about your photo, right? So again, if your goal is to try and place and give yourself the best odds of that, then I'd say, sure, do that, right? Like my suggestion would be probably hold off on sharing the photo, run it by as many people that you trust and respect that you can, right? And get some feedback, get some group feedback there. It's probably going to increase your odds. That being said, I don't do it at all because like I worry that if I'm influenced by others, then it feels like the contest entry isn't solely what I would have wanted to do or solely what I believed in the most, you know what I mean? And then the other side, the other piece of that is, well, maybe I would just go ahead and share what I like, submit what I was going to submit anyway. Well, then it's like, well, then what's the point of getting the feedback if you're just going to ignore it anyway, right? But I will say, I think it's not maybe the wisest move. You know, it's probably a detriment for me to just be like, yeah, I don't want anybody else's advice. I just want to submit what I want and win. But winning a contest isn't that high a priority for me, you know? Like when I submit to a contest, it's more of just well, let's see what happens. Like you can't win if you don't try. And if I don't, I want to win or lose and not get chosen completely on my own merit, right? Based on the photos that I were connected with the most and what I really felt had the strongest chance. And if they don't get picked, that's fine. I'm totally cool with that, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not saying that's the best approach for it. In fact, I think it's probably not the best approach for it. That's just my approach for it, you know? So
yeah. And I think like you like within our group chat, I think some years, like even after once we finalize everything and sent it off, we'll then share the whole like, hey, this is what I submitted. And that's always kind of fun too. Because then you're just looking through and getting each other excited about the different shots, or disappointing the hell out of the other person because you got killer shots and they're like, shit, why did I enter? And it's always fun.
But again, even in that regard, right, sometimes it's just like we see what the other of our group has shared and we're like, oh, that's amazing. And you're always like more likely to enjoy other people's stuff than your own in some regards there. Definitely. You know, and that's not how the judges are seeing it, obviously, right? Because they don't have the personal tie that we have. So before we dive in, I was just wondering, and I don't know if you want to do if we do it now or not, or just to kind of, you know, pick your brain just a little bit, or just to give everyone a little bit of insight. So when you immediately sit down, you're like, okay, I'm entering this year, let's go through. Like there has to be a little bit of a mental checklist or something that you're like, this is what I'm looking for as I'm going through. I don't know if you want to like elaborate a little bit on like some things that, you know what I mean? Because like, you know, I don't know how you do it. Like I know sometimes during the year, I might, if an image was incredible, I'll automatically grab it. And I've already got like a contest 2026 folder or whatever. And I just dump it in there. Raw file, dump it in. And then I'm like, okay, I don't have to think about it and go back and find it. Yeah. Interesting. Other times I'm having to go through like each outing that I did throughout the year, or like I'll look on Instagram and be like, well, if it was really good, I must have posted it, and I'll go back through or whatever. But there's a process. There has to be, right? Because there's got to be a thought process that you're going through that makes a particular image better or your best. Well, I hope you're not just like closing your eyes and just going, okay, this one. I would hope there's like a little something that I don't think there is for me, dude. I don't think there is. No, really? I really do. I think it's like contest time. I sit down and I'm like, I might have a memory of like, oh, this was like a strong one that I'll just go back to and revisit and be like, yep, it still holds up, or nah, it's not doing it anymore. But other than that, for me, it's usually like, I just go through and look through, and I do it's like another version of culling for me. It's like I'll just scroll through all my final images because I have them all in a collection sitting here in Lightroom, everything that I've shared that year, you know, and I've always generally shared, other than the handful that I've held back, which those I remember, you know, I don't do it much. But yeah, I just go through everything I've edited up and shared, and then I just kind of set aside a bunch of them. So usually it'll end up being a higher number, you know, like I think Wildlife Photographer of the Year, you can submit 25 photos, I want to say, something like that. What's Bird Photographer of the Year now? It's about the same, right?
Bird Photographer of the Year is 25 now.
Yeah. So I'll usually go through and I'll probably end up with like, I mean, I think the last time I did it was probably like 70, 80 photos sitting in a collection of like, all right, these are some potentials. These are ones that when I just went through just now, like really stood out to me. And then I'll bring them up, start bringing up things on the screen at the same time, putting similar stuff together and being like, oh, this is stronger than this. Because when you see things side by side, you can kind of get a better comparison for them versus just the one at a time. Because one at a time, you're like, oh yeah, I love it. But then when you put it next to another one that's maybe stronger, you're like, I can see why I like this one better. And then, dude, I just sit down and do a culling process. And then almost always, because she's here and I value her opinion so much, I start running some of that by Emily, you know? And that's just always like slightly different than just sharing it with, you know, even with you guys and photography friends, you know what I mean? We have a closer, different relationship, and there's just like a different way we can talk about things, and she's always upfront and honest with me, so I get her feedback, you know, and more so on things that I'm questioning. If there's one I know that's going in, I know it's going in. Even if she's like, no, I don't like it, I'm like, no, I don't care. It's going in. I feel something for it. But if there's a handful of like, I wonder about this one or this one, then I start running it by her to help me kind of narrow that down to get down to that 25 image thing. And yeah, that's kind of my process, man. I really just go on like feeling and like what's still standing out to me. What am I connecting with in that moment? And dude, if I did it on one day, 1 week, and I did a different day another week, I'd probably come up with something different. Yeah. But I don't have like a list of like criteria that I'm trying to meet. And that's, I think, again, that's part of my approach to contests, which is, yeah, it'd be really nice to place, and it's really nice the times I have placed in high level contests, but winning is not like, it's not winning at all costs for me. So I'm not trying to cater to judges. I'm not trying to cater to that, whatever the contest in general has preferences for and all that. I'm just like, you know what, this is a contest I'm interested in entering because, for me, it's bird photography of the year, wildlife photography of the year, the two big ones, right? Or two of the bigger ones.
Yep.
And I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to throw in what speaks to me in this today when I'm sitting down and doing it. And if it places, cool. And if not, yeah, who cares? Like, that's kind of the extent of my approach to it. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
But I think and I know we've talked about it a little bit more. You have a little bit more of a criteria approach for it, which I think is wise, Yeah.
And maybe it's due to my,
it's like the three elements, right?
Archaic kind of the way I have my stuff. It's harder for me to look things up a little bit, but yeah. So I usually like, as I go to sit down, like there's standout moments throughout a year that you remember. You remember. Oh, I remember this like big moment. I remember whatever. So I'm looking for like something that was like super special, whether it was like really different light, or I felt like I had a super strong composition that might have been a little bit different, or like for instance, like even with that black and white warbler, like, done breath shots before, like, I've submitted some, I've even had some made the book, but this is the first time I've, with that amount and that detailed of like the rainbow within the breath and those particles lighting up like that. So to me, it was like, that is an instant, like, look, without that, that's images. It's garbage, like garbage in terms of contest. Basic. For me. It's a bird on a stick. It's very, very basic.
Beautiful light, backlight, but
it
doesn't have the extra
like
element.
It's got exactly, and that's this like third element, right? No, but I think you get to a point where you realize, like,
absolutely, you should.
Everyone and their mother has like a warbler on a stick, you know what I mean, or feels that way. So like, what elevates it? And I think even with these bird photographer contests, like you don't see warblers very often.
No.
Place anywhere or do very well.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, what are those moments throughout a year or within the past 2 years that like were like over the top? There was something a little bit different that happened, like this like third like my fiance and I have like, we've talked about it before, like this, like there's a third element to an image, like you've got the great light, you've got the wonderful pose, it's clean as this, no super distracting thing, but there was one other thing, whether it's a behavior or a very unique lighting or atmosphere situation that kind of happens. So that's kind of where I go from. That's like my starting. So I go then through and I'm like, okay, grab those. There was definitely ones that happened throughout. Then I'll like dumb it down. Then it's just like, might be just like a simple action thing that happened, or just a very, very simple, pretty portrait, or, so you slowly start to kind of, I mean, unless you're had an amazing year and just like very easy to pull 25 like incredible images that have outstanding unique behaviors within. But that's kind of my process.
No, I think I don't think there's a right or wrong process, I really don't.
Oh no. Definitely not.
And again, I feel like, I've had the privilege of placing. I've got second place in a category in bird photography of the year with a photo once. I've been in the book multiple times. I was in the book this year. You're in the book. I think every year you've entered. I've made the final round of judging every time I've entered the wildlife photographer contest or wildlife photographer of the year contest. Which I've never placed in that. I placed in Nature's best, I think, once. I got like I think it was a
cool.
second place in a category as well. So I've made some decent placements in high level contests. But all along, my approach has always just been like, it's not that high a priority to me. You know, I just want to throw in what speaks to me in the moment and let that be that. But if it were a higher priority for me to place in a contest, I do think doing the opposite of most of the things I do is probably better, you know, which is like hold off your photos, research the judges. If you can share photos that lean more in the direction that they might like their preferences are, you're probably increasing your odds. And if you can think about like, are there special elements of the photo that really stand out that help? All of these things I think are wonderful things. Get feedback from a wide group of respected friends and narrow down, use that to help narrow down. Like all these things will probably improve your odds of placing in a contest. I just don't give a shit that much, so I don't do most of them. You know what I mean? Even though I recognize that they will be helpful, you know? It's the same as me and YouTube, right? I know there's a bunch of things I can do that will increase my engagement on these videos by sharing them on YouTube, but it's not stuff that I want to do. And so I'm not going to do it, you know? And I'm not saying at least the YouTube thing is more of a principle thing. The contest thing is more of just a personal preference. I don't think there's like anything wrong with doing any of those other things inherently. I think why not increase your odds if you really care to place. I just don't have the time or energy to put into doing that. But
I just find too, like it's just fun to be part of that whole thing. Like anytime I think about like not entering, I'm like, but I know when the judging part comes and like they, you know, post who won, like there's just something about that feel of being part of that process that just gets me every year. Cause like even this year I was like, maybe not. I'm like, but then I'm like, I don't know. There's a few images I really like, you know, I started pulling some over the past little while and I'm like, I really like these. Like, what the heck? Like, I'm just going to go and enter them. So it's fun.
I agree. There's a fun part of being involved in it. And then I will also say, just because I have skipped years, there is a nice part of not being involved in it too. Like when that all comes up and everything, and I hear, you know, like you and Jamin and just like, oh, did you get an email? Did you get this? Like, and there's like a little bit of you know, there's excitement there, but there's also a little bit of like, you know, stress or like, oh, I didn't get as many chosen or they didn't choose the ones I want to make it in the final round and stuff like that. There's also an element of like sitting back and being like, oh, I'm glad I'm not like going through that right now, you know? But so there, it's both sides. It's not all positive. It's not all negative. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. So, we're gonna have to split this thing into like 2 episodes or something. We're like an hour and a half in now, and we haven't even started doing this.
Oh God.
Might be a 2-parter.
Well,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, we could definitely do that because even if we could get one out early, I guess you'd have to edit it too quick though. Say get one out now, and then we'd have one for next week. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, see how it goes.
So anyway, here's what I submitted to Bird Photographer of the Year this past year. And so what we're going to have Brad do is get rid of the things, like narrow it down to his favorites, you know, like what would make the final round if you were the judge, Brad? You know, and so what would be easier here? Because I know you're seeing it a little bit smaller on your screen than I have it on mine. To leave them like this or to go through them large one at a time? What do you think?
How about we do like one quick call like this?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So yeah. Okay. So start top left.
Yeah,
and we'll go. So keep.
Yeah.
And then get rid of that one.
Yeah.
Keep that one. Keep the next one. Keep.
Okay.
Keep that one. I'll probably get rid of that one.
Yeah.
Get rid of that one. Keep that one.
Okay.
Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one and the next one. keep that one for now.
The next one came up so fast it was stung a little. No, I'm kidding. There was no hesitation on that one. It was great. On this one that we're on here, what was that one?
Keep that one for now. Yeah. Keep that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it because I'm curious. So, you know, at least that feel. I know now, but I'm just gonna go with.
It is harder to do this because the second time around.
Yeah,
a little bit, but
yeah. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. Get rid of that one, and that one as well. And I think again, like one thing I had said about that one that we just got rid of, like the wing positioning for me, like I think if it was,
I felt the same way.
Yeah. That one I like. The next one, so keep the rest.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So there's your initial pass. So we went from 25 down to 15. I feel good about that. All right. So now here, what's going to make the final round? So is this final round? Yeah.
That's definitely
Okay. So we'll add that.
And I think, see, again, so like as an example, like that image, there was seeing it small for me, there was something about it that drew me in. It was like, what is that texture in the background? Like I wanted to know more about it. Because, you know, other than that, like it's a chaotic image, not chaotic. There's like a lot of birds. There's not one single subject. There's a lot going on, but it's an interesting, like, you know, kind of chaos. So yeah.
And this is one really that made the book this year.
Yeah.
This is the one. Yeah.
And see, and this is something that we mentioned before too, is like some images, the way they're shot, like knowing this, the background story behind it, like what's going on, what's happening, certainly elevates the image because, you know, like not even knowing what happened here. Like, so you obviously shot it at a slow shutter speed or, you know, like you want to know a little bit more about it. And sometimes there's images that are different, but not different enough in a good way that when the judge looks at it, I think without the backstory, which I can't see it possible that they read every backstory out of every image they look at, especially in the first call, that it may just be like, oh, okay, I don't see anything different here. Yep. Even though it might have been different.
Totally.
With the knowledge. So yeah, keep an award. Second place. No. And it just gets first place. I don't even have, it's no question. I love it. It's just I don't know. Like I'm going on if I was like to see how many other loon shots are out there. You know what I mean? Like
what to you would elevate this one? Like what would make it like a for sure? I'm curious if your answer would be the same as mine. I have an answer.
So either more layers potentially in the background of tree line. I mean, the pose of the birds are great. I mean, you see the little chick, there's an interaction between the two parents. So to me, it's either that or I don't know, like some other just crazy lighting scenario where maybe a little bit more of the light was coming through like the fog, like or something like that. I think other than that, like I think even just like a second layer of tree line or something might just give it a bit more, because there's a lot of just like empty nothing space that has no context. It's just,
I think it's either that even just seeing the tree line that's there a little bit more, like, so I maybe should have been a little bit more bold with what was there, maybe just for a little bit more context, because it's so faded, it's like tough to see, you know. It means I appreciate it when you spend a lot of time with it, but I'm sure they're not when they're judging, you know what I mean? So that's what okay. All right, so let's move on.
It's a ditch. I like it's tough because you like, I really love the elements in it. I think I would keep.
Okay. This is fun to do, by the way.
It is. So I'll tell you, my initial reaction is, as soon as I see it, I wish it was, and I don't know, maybe it is that, so you probably couldn't do it more. I almost feel like it should be like, is this a 16:9 crop?
It looks like it is. It's close to that. I don't do
Yeah, it
specific
does.
aspect ratios. So
No.
I just it's freeform, but it's close. Yeah.
Like the extra blue above those really cool clouds.
Yeah. Maybe it
Like
should have
almost,
gone even more pano. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, just like really restrict it down in.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Um,
I could see that. I feel like you've
So I'm gonna get
deliberated
rid
too
of it.
long. We got to skip it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's too long.
Okay, go. I know I'm taking too long. I mean, I love this shot. There's something for, it's got a mood, it's got a feel to it. I think I'd keep it.
Do you? Yeah, this is one I'd pass on, like second round. I agree with you. There is such a like nice mood to it, but it's the layout of the birds just like messes with me, you know. And I knew that going in. Like I would have liked them to have been placed different or just something. I don't know. Just felt a little off.
I don't know. I like the bookend. I like the bookend of like the two outside with the group inside.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do like this. I like the pastel.
So is it making the final round, Brad? This is fun, man. It's fun to watch you deliberate. Yeah.
I know, but I don't want to deliberate too long. I'm gonna keep it.
Okay.
See, I'm just thinking too of the categories, like if there's bird in environment.
Sure. Yeah, of course. I think there was only 2 or 3 images I ever submitted out of this entire contest that weren't bird and environment, you know?
Yeah.
There's like
figured.
very few. Yeah, that's just mostly what I submitted. Yeah.
I mean, I love the placement. I love everything. I almost wish he was like maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah, agreed.
Just because you have the other gannets, they're almost the same. So yeah, I'll ditch.
Yeah.
I think, and we talked about this before, like all the different pieces in the background, like become a little bit distracting. But
absolutely.
I think if they didn't have birds on them, for me, maybe, or the alignment of them a little bit more. Because other than that, I love it. I wouldn't want them completely gone. No, it would just feel like bird on a stick with pasted background. But so I'm gonna ditch.
Yeah. No, I agree.
God, they're such cool birds, hey?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I like this. I would keep it.
Yeah, me too.
Just like, yeah. I love everything. We talked about this. I love everything about this image. If even one cormorant was up on one of those peaks,
I know, up top,
I would, it would be, it would be something special because like I said, choice of slow shutter speed to get that wave action.
Yeah.
The color tones, everything about it. Like even if every gannet stayed where it was right now and you took that one that was on the edge and moved them up on that
I know, right?
Like, perfect.
Yep. Yeah, this was
because from a distance,
half a second. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, even from a distance, you'd be like, oh, yeah, this bird stands out.
The cormorants would stand out up top for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So unfortunately, I'd have to ditch.
Yeah.
I love this one. It's got
same here.
This artistic painterly feel with just like they just stand out so well on the rocks like that. So I would keep.
Cool.
If this was in like one of those creative thing, it does. It's got a painting feel. Like I think you even mentioned it was almost like the
like cave art,
graffiti things you would see, like cave art.
Yeah. It had that feel.
So
for
I
me.
would keep it. Yeah, I like that.
I feel like we had an interesting conversation about this the last time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like it's like got so much, and I don't know what it is. And like I think you and I talked about like if you had punched it up a bit more, maybe, or I don't know.
It feels a little flat, and like I don't know. It's got cool elements, but there's something about it that's just not quite there. You know,
like I want even if just like the background rocks were darkened more, and just I don't know, like like it'd be a fun thing to play with, or maybe it was just the light needed to be different.
Yeah,
and it's got really cool clouds, but
It does, yeah. And I also don't really like the big dark like black pile of stuff there. Like that's not helping anything. I don't think it's like killing the image, but it's not helping.
No, no,
And
Yeah.
it's a little bit like two-dimensional, Like I'm not seeing enough of like the ground here coming more into focus. Like it's just, the clump and the bird, and then everything else is like about the same amount of out of focus in the background, other than this, annoying like black clump of stuff, which actually is a foreground element.
I was just about to say, I'm just realizing that now. It's funny you mentioned that. I was like, geez, I thought that was in the background.
Yeah, and like if he would have stayed, I would have definitely like crawled forward that extra, 6 inches to a foot, and then probably even shown more down in there. But like, he only stayed for a little bit, and I hadn't fully dialed in that composition. So yeah, I feel like it's an almost, but not quite. Is how it falls for me. Even though I loved it when I captured it. Yeah. All right, cool.
It's a gorgeous. I can't say it's not a bad. It's a gorgeous image.
So that's pretty good.
Nitpicking
You got me
for sure.
9 into the final round. I feel good about that. So yeah, that's what you chose. Let's see what bird photographer of the year chose. So we'll head back down there to this collection here and take a look at that. Because I have set aside, I think they gave me 9 as well, right? But they chose these. These were the 9 that made the final round for the contest. And then the top left one made the book.
So I wasn't far off.
No, there was some, there's definitely some crossover there. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there's about 4 or 5 that are crossed over.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So this is really fun though. And it's neat to talk about like what things really worked and what things didn't, And so, let's do the same for you now. So let's take a look. And I kind of like doing where we choose it first before we know what made the finals,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm going to go here. Let's see. Oh, God. Yeah, this is tough, man.
Right. As a whole, like when you first look, you're like, oh, okay.
I know. It is. Yeah. And it's funny, like I feel like I'm going to be doing different than I did the last time. I know you did a couple things than the last time.
I did.
Going through.
A couple,
But it's like because we talked about some of it, you know what I mean?
I think,
Like I think we had like the conversations through some of these others in the past, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, so good.
And it's funny because like those couple there's a couple images in there that for me I was like, oh, Ray's definitely gonna pick these because they're funky, they're different. And again, you did remove them, and I'm like, the first time I was like, really? You like, how could you get rid of that? But I understood, like, they're a bit more distracting. And
Yep, totally. So this one I love, like just the placement, the composition, the lighting. There's like such a peacefulness to it, so that one makes it for sure. Everything pointing to the bird, dramatic, wide angle. You're so close to it. It's just like such a unique perspective and light. I love the habitat of this one, But I feel like actually, the longer I look at this one, like there's like almost like a busyness at the bottom.
Yeah,
that sort of like detracts from it, like the initial hit is like, oh, that's really nice. But then the more I sit with it, there's like these light tones like that. And that started like grabbing my attention and pulling me down there. And then I'm like, then it like gets me to go down there. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of stuff down there. Whereas initially it's just bird in the top half. So I almost wonder if that was cropped off, but then it doesn't connect. And it's just like a tree floating in space. So I don't know the solution there, but I think I'm going to pass on that one. This one.
But I wonder if if I had cropped up just even a little bit, just to the base of the other green spruces and got rid of that light brown down below. Maybe
it could have helped.
I don't know.
Yeah. That could have been part of it. This one is just a win in every way, right? Just the color and everything like that. This one, and see, here's where we get into preference, right? This one leaves me wanting more around it. And that's my personal preference, right? That's me always wanting the wider stuff. Like, I feel like it's great, but I want a little bit more context. It feels like not quite enough context.
I can see
you
that.
know what I mean? But conceptually, like, I feel like both of our overhead ones of these we needed one in the middle up there. Maybe one of us would have had it, right? It was like, you're a bit too tight for my taste. Mine had a bit too much going on, was too wide, which I think we both agree, like on both sides, you know? It's kind of funny.
That's good.
I mean, yes, of course. This one is like a hands down for me. But actually, I thought there was another one. Oh, did I take it out? Wait, did I mess up? Yeah. No, he's in there. Okay, he's just later. All right, my bad. I was going to say, but I like this one, but I like the other one better.
Okay.
You know, is what happens there.
Interesting.
But I don't know. I love it. So it's getting added in. I go back to it. I love this one so much. This one just, I think it goes to, I've seen it so much from you. I feel like I've seen it before.
Yeah, and the only reason for me when I added it is because the light felt just a little bit more different.
It
almost
is
like these rays within the fog.
Yeah,
so that's
like
the only reason why I did. Yeah, like there was just a little something. Yeah, it wasn't like my top pick of. Yeah, it was like, I think it was one of these like filler images for me.
But I also know that there's others coming up that I like more. I don't know what it is about this. I love this image. I
think it's the color contrast.
Peacefulness is just outstanding, you know? And it's not an image I see often. Waterfowl flying in the snow. That's not a thing I see often, you know? The lighting on this and the pattern, the curve, you know, like, just everything about that. Amazing. You know, it's so... I love how you find this ability so often to get these dark, dramatic things, but the bird's still lit so well, you know? Like, the bird isn't dark. Like, the white on that pintail is popping white. And it's not like you pushed it. Like, that was the lighting. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
It's just filtered light.
And it's just, it's not an easy thing to achieve. So wait, let me make sure I added that one. Yeah, I did. Okay. You know, this is another one. Like, there's a hell of a mood there, but I feel like it's missing the third element. It's got the light. It's got the bird.
You're right.
And then what? You know? Yeah.
It needs something else. Yeah.
And then weirdly, dude, there's something about this that gets my attention every time, you know? I think it is the simplicity of the duck too. The coloration on them.
Yes.
And that eye.
And so to go to one thing that you kind of talked about and mentioned, you know, about trying to like appease the judges or to kind of lean into that. This was my lean into image. Clean, classy, like lots of, you know, nice bit of detail. Lighting's a bit different because it's got this like moody gray kind of like, it was just fog. Yeah, like something. Yeah. Yep. So that was my attempt. At like
I dig it, man.
Cleaner portrait.
This one is just so fascinating. Again, great light on the bird, and then the color's outstanding. Love the pose there. That's making it for me. And then this is another one I want to like, but then I just keep. I don't know. Yeah, I pass on it. I love the unique perspective. I love the unique habitat and everything, but like, I don't know that. It still doesn't feel like a beautiful image to me somehow in the end, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I guess my whole idea behind the image was that like jaggedness, cold, him tucked in, cooler tone to kind of give that struggles, you know, and again, that's what I wrote kind of in the captioning was like, there's a struggle that our waterfowl have when winter sets in. It's like there's very little open water, or things are shifting and changing, and they've got to adapt and find open little pockets sometimes. And you know, there was just, that's what I liked about the jaggedness of the ice and all that. So
no, I remember, and I love, but I remember the first time you shared this with me. I loved the absolute unique perspective, especially, you know, for what you were shooting at the time, right? It was way out of your wheelhouse for what you were shooting at the time. And I love the story that it tells. I really do. I think in the end, it's just the jaggedness is so attention getting. It doesn't feel like, I don't know. It just doesn't, you know what it is? It doesn't connect with
Yeah.
my sense of like aesthetic. You know, that's really all it is to it.
Yeah.
You know,
I hear
but
you.
it does give the story and everything like that. So there we go.
Yeah.
I ended up
Interesting.
with 10. There's the 10 I picked out for
Yeah.
you, and then if we can go back, I know we forgot to do this ahead of time, so you can just tell me real quick, because
Yeah.
I'm sure you know. Which ones of yours do you know which ones made the final round?
Yeah. So the
versus
Puffin,
book? Yeah. All right, so let's see.
the
here.
Puffin,
Oh wait, I'll select them that way. Yeah.
greater,
Puffin, this guy.
greater yellow legs on
Yep.
a tree. Yeah. The black and white warbler, or like
Yep.
breath. The greater Scott with the cool lights all up above.
Yep.
The male. The Wilson snipe coming in close, and
Yep.
the looking down on top of the bridle.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay, gotcha. So that's what made the final round for you.
Yep.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
And then which one? You had
Yeah.
2 in the book, or just the one? The
No, just the
warbler?
one. So the
Okay.
black and white warbler.
Yeah, and then the book. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I had
Yeah. Boy,
yeah.
I tell you, I wanted that greater yellow legs on top. I was like, oh,
yeah.
really? That and that turnstone you're on. Those are
I
my
know.
2 that I was like, oh.
I know you said that hurt a
didn't-
little.
yeah, that's it. I know. Yeah, that one hurt. This one hurt because I spent like a full month working that one species and getting
Yeah.
to know everything about like the habitat where they hung out. And then when it came all together to actually shoot it with a 24 mil lens, like to me, it's like
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
pretty
get that
cool.
close to the species. So, but yeah,
But
that's
none
it.
of that comes
That's-
through.
that's
None of
part
the judges know it, right?
Nope.
Like that's the thing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, because I
Um,
mean, you've walked over these species. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you've shot them with a cell phone, so
Yeah.
it's different. Like like you could be seeing a lot of those types of shots. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But it's cool.
anyway.
It's a fun process.
It is. It is a fun process. It's cool to break it down like that. I think. I think it's neat to see. You know what we each chose there. Like that's a pretty sweet set of images, I would
Yeah.
say. You know.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean that's
definitely.
pretty good for us for the past year. I'm proud of all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. I think that's
some
pretty much
unique
it. We'll wrap
stuff.
this up
But
before we
you-
get to 2 hours.
But I was gonna say, you see, like our style, which obviously it should, but like really reigns through. Like you look at your collection, it's like smaller in frame,
You got
very
one here.
interesting
Yep.
styles and stuff, right? But then it's like most of my stuff's a little bit tighter,
Yep.
a little bit like using the light and different things. So it's
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. Even when you go 24 millimeter, your bird is larger in the frame than half of mine that are shot with like a long telephoto, right? Like, because if I'm not mistaken, like I think this
true.
one was shot. Oh no, I guess 120 mil. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it
Yeah.
was longer.
I love that shot.
200
man.
mil. Yeah.
200.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess what's
Still,
this
yeah.
one? It's 280. I know. Do I have anything over
Yeah.
like any kind of like over 300 millimeter here? Yeah. This one might be long.
That's
Yeah, there's a 400 millimeter. And then this one.
you go.
There we go. Another
Yeah.
400.
Yeah, that one's got to be long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, cool experiment. It was fun to go
Great
through all
stuff,
these,
man.
and hopefully, it gives everybody
Definitely.
watching a little bit of stuff to like ideas to think about, or maybe, things that
Certainly.
you hadn't thought about in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is
And
fun.
I wouldn't mind throwing this out there, like, through this episode, if anyone's like got other questions, or if
Yes.
wanted us to like go like in depth a little bit more onto it in the next episode,
Sure.
yeah, like drop a comment down below, let us know,
Yeah.
and we can certainly cover it. If it's something quick, we'll just reply to you. But if I think something that's more valuable to everybody else, yeah, I think we can dive into it for sure.
Absolutely. It's contest season. There's probably a bunch of you out there watching
Yep.
that are, thinking about entering right now. And so, yeah, we thought this
Yep.
would be a real good time to chat about this stuff and share with you guys what we
Definitely.
entered, because,
Yep.
as we discussed the last time around, I guess we missed it here, is I won't be entering any of these ever again, because I just don't do that. Like once I've entered it once, I'm like, it's dead to me, it doesn't go again.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've never re-entered a same image I have done previous years, and I think because Bird Photography Year doesn't change up their judges
yeah.
that often, they may have a new one person come in or something
Sure.
like that. So to me, I feel like, well, they're just gonna see. Now they probably gonna forget. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I've just never been in a position where I'm like, yeah, I really want to enter this again. If it didn't make it, it didn't make it. Move on.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.
Awesome.
Yeah. We'll see you all next
Yeah.
week. We'll try not to lose this
Take
episode.
care, everyone. Yeah.